them Knicks look like they in business right now. I did not see this coming. I was like, look, I mean, obviously, next day. But at the time that the news dropped, I was like, hell, most of y'all probably sleep. I was over here trying to get a little. Anyway, workout in. I was like, I need to finish that before speculation happens. But anyway, I thought it was just like rumor, speculation, that kind of thing. I didn't think it actually happened. So they basically decided to send Mikal Bridges and second round pick, because you got to save face a little bit, to New York, while New York sends Bogdanovich, Bogdan over there, which sort of sucks because I was like, I'll get to that in a minute, and like 5 or 6 first round picks, and so like in a future pick swap kind of thing. Now, at first glance, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, this is ridiculous, this is crazy. For Mikal Bridges, 6 first round picks, that's ludicrous. Oh man, I had to get back on that. And I was thinking too that I was like, then after a while, sleeping on it, I was like, I got to hear a couple other people, and I was like, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, it's fine. It's actually pretty good. I would say from the Bogdan standpoint, I just really wanted to see how he would work on the Knicks, because I thought he could have really been good in that playoff. He wouldn't have got hurt. I think he would have given them the punch they needed while also being a big, burly guy that also could hold his own. But or whatever. But hey, that's in the past. He didn't get a shot. It sucks. He got to go over to the Nets. He got to go to another sorry team. But I was like, I think he'll get flipped, to be honest, at some point, along with the rest of them. When I'll talk about the Nets stuff. But as far as the Knicks, I was like, look, they got a dude that you can switch from 2 to 4 in situations, depending on if you play a big lineup, small lineup, whatever it is. Especially with somebody with Jalen Brunson, you need bigger people around, that kind of thing. But also, I think now that I would like, the other element is if they can keep OG Anunoby. If they keep him, I was like, they're title favorites along with Boston. If not, I think they're still. I was like, I think, so when I say title favorite, I mean winning it all. With this move, I think they can battle with the Celtics still, even without OG. They would still have to get some couple more pieces though. But as of right now, I was like, and say they team sort of stay about the same, where you still got Randall and Hart and DiVincenzo and stuff like that. Well, if you keep OG, Dante, and Hart go to the bench, and guess what? Now you don't need as many extra pieces you think you need, because now the 2 dudes that was going crazy in the playoffs will come off the bench or something like that. But say OG doesn't come back, and so one of them just got to come off the bench. It's cool, whatever. But I think what helps is the fact that, differently than OG, is the fact that he can actually score. Like I'm not wanting OG to get hit the ball, dribble type of score. I was like, Mikal can do that, especially him getting that experience with the Nets. I think is really helpful, because he got to be the number 1 option. He got to see how it is when teams like gang up on you and all this other stuff. So while he wasn't able to maybe be the number 1 there, that experience is still great for this situation that he's in now, where it's like, cool, Brunson, don't worry, I am going to be that guy that's with you, trying to take dude off dribble. I could shoot the 3. I could defend like ridiculously crazy. I was like, they don't harm their defense at all. I was like, and I think they upgrade with their offense as well too, because while they were scoring in the playoffs, them other dudes can't create offense for themselves the way Mikal can. And that's why it's like, okay, so you get a young player. He already knows his teammates. He already knows how hard he's going to play. He stays healthy all the damn time. And his contract doesn't hurt in the same way like how they were talking about like Paul George. Like Paul George would have been, like, he's a good player, but you don't know how he would have fit here with them. You don't know, especially like how he's came up. Like Bridges have been to the finals and stuff like that, so you can't even like knock him for his playoff stuff, or whatever. Like him being young, where like Paul George, who came up short, and sometimes you don't know how he's going to be. Sometimes he's gangbusters, sometimes he's streaky. Also, he's older for about the same. I was like, so it's like you get younger, and the contract not a crazy hit at the same time as well. I was like, the first round picks is that I was like, you think about it, I'm like, except for those ones later on when it's like, okay, all these dudes might have been either like they're in their 30s or they might have broken up by then. Who knows what happened to Brunson or whatnot? Those are so down the future that it's kind of like whatever. That these first intermediate ones is like the Knicks are going to basically be in the playoffs or a long run, so those are going to be in the 20s anyway. So it's not that big of a deal of the first round picks. Also, if you're going to collect those first round picks, sometimes you got to do something with them. To be honest, I was like, I knew they had like 11, so this is only half of them. I was like, don't quote me on the 11, but I'm pretty sure they had like 11. I was like, I know they got a couple tonight, so I was like, damn, they got a lot. So I was like, this isn't as bad of a move, to be honest, of giving that much. I was like, I've seen people say like good to great player, role player, that kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, if anything everything we realize is that you need, if you can't get that other superstar person, you need to get someone that is of that ilk, where it's like that all-star friends type of level. But also, if you got other pieces that are also of like quality, then it's not that big of a deficit as it seemed of not having that second star kind of thing. So, and I was like, look, as we seen with Thunder, who got a whole accumulation of picks, or Boston back in the day, where it's like sometimes you gotta pull the trigger on some of these. Otherwise, these picks are going to do what for you? But they still got their picks to deal with it in the draft to get somebody else help. Brooklyn, on the other hand, hey, gonna just cut this all down. Just gonna start all over, which I'm sort of glad that they're doing. I think they're gonna have a whole bunch of trades. Kind of when I was talking about Bogdan, I was like, he could go somewhere and immediately help somebody. And that's why I said I'm like him, along with like Dorian Finney-Smith, uh, Cam Johnson. I think Cam Thomas can even be like he's still. I was like he's still on a low deal, so it might. I don't know. They might keep him just like, yo, give him the key to just see what happens. But I'm just like, they got enough people also here to also get other trades, other draft picks, but also too that it's like with this they're able to actually move. Like if they need to move up in the draft, because sometimes the lottery don't. I mean the balls don't fall where you need to. I was like, get certain players, get a disgruntled player or whatever. To me, I feel like they're going to try to do like the OKC thing where they just gang a lot of picks and just see if they can take on bad. Because I was like, that's what they're going to have to do because of how bad they was with their trades that they did for Durant. I mean, not Durant, James Harden and like the ones from the past and all this other stuff. So they're still going to have moves to make. They're in a good spot because they got a lot of good veteran players that has experience that can help a lot of other teams. But the Knicks, hey, they stepped up. They made them basically at least contenders for the East, if not the whole thing, at least right now. And Brooklyn, hey, you get to start over. You got a bevy of picks that you can do whatever you want to with. You getting your picks, obviously, for the next couple drafts as well, too, which everybody talks about. I don't know. I'm not that draft type of person. At least not anymore. I don't know any of these dudes. I think this is one of the few ones that win-win. It looked crazy at the beginning for the Knicks giving up all that, mainly because also Brooklyn never budged off of what they wanted, and that's sort of the weird part. And I'm like, somebody actually did it, but hey, at the same time, you got what you want, and I think everybody wins here, and we'll see how this all goes in the future. But 10 more news as we might get. See you later.